Hello, everybody. Welcome to Railbirds TV and the 2025 International Open. I am, unfortunately for you guys, your host for today. I am Scott Frost. And thanks for everybody tuning in. Do me a favor. Do us a favor. Share the stream. It costs you nothing, but maybe a little finger energy. I am excited for this match. I truly am excited for this match. Jesus Atencio versus SVB. And I think it's going to be a fun one. But I don't want to build it up too much because if I do, we always know what happens then. It is a race to 10, double elimination. Both of these guys are on the winner's side. And it is a true double elimination. This is alternate break format, all ball fouls. The ref is covering 4 tables. Not physically, but he is in between 4 tables, so he can't keep an eye on everything. It'll be up to the players in a lot of positions. The break box is at play here. Jump cues are allowed. This is a WNT World 9-Ball Tour ranking event, and there is $75,000 added to this event. The entry fee is 10% of that, $750. Pretty great tournament, to be honest. Missing a few players, which is a little unfortunate, but I do understand. Captain of Team Europe, Jason Shaw, has his guys off working out, taking it pretty serious, and I get it. But there's one of Team USA's players, 17 appearances. It looks like he's going to hit a few balls. Yeah, and this is round 5 of the winner's bracket. Jesus Atencio received a bye in the first round, but I'll get back to that. We're off to the races. I am in love with the alternate break format with bigger pockets. I think it's the right way to play. Jesus going to get the lag. This is just a race to 10, but alternate break, I think you're going to get obviously much more warranted opportunities at the table, and it's really in your hands that way. Now, on 4-inch pockets, a little different story. We're rarely going to see somebody break and run 4 or 5 racks on 4-inch pockets, but here, totally different story. Yeah, Jesus and SVB both received a bye in the first round. Who do you all have here? Because if you don't know, you should know. The guy at the table is on fire and only getting better. Everything in his world is really going well. Classic Billiards sponsors him, a lot of other sponsors. He's just in a great mindset. You can never count Shane out, obviously. I think this is actually close. Atencio to break. And this is obviously not what you want out of the gate. Take another look at it. Boy, really thick hit. I don't know what happened there, though. The way the one tracked almost a foot past the side. You just don't see that. Could have been a gap in the rack. This is a tough opener. Extremely tough. All ball fouls. 2 and the 3 hampering the bridge hand. And looky here, we have the TV balls again. All right. Straight into the upper right corner. I think he tried to punch the gap. 2 rails just below the left side pocket. Caught a little bit low on the white. And that's another look at it. Just one to miss the pink. This is the starter he was dreaming of outside of the break shot. Very aggressive player, Jesus. I think that's changing as I speak. I think he's starting to mature a little bit more as far as that's concerned. But he really leans on his shot making. And I think that's okay, right? I have no problem with it. Doesn't take these guys too long, and I will equate Jesus to an elite player. Does not take an elite player too long to make the adjustment to the table. Oftentimes, it'll just take a couple of shots as long as they're using the rails. So you can tell right away within three decent shots there that he's got the speed down very well. Did just win that ranking event in Jacksonville. It was a big tournament for him. Any win is a big tournament, but really for him and his confidence, I think it's done a lot. You could tell if you follow him on his socials that it meant a great deal to him. First to draw blood is Atencio. Typically a little bit quicker paced player, but it looks to me like he's slowed that down just a notch. Maybe just because it's early in this rack, but I think that as we get a little bit older, and obviously he's a very young man, but as we get a little bit older, we tend to just slow the pace down just a bit. Our first look at SVB and his break shot. He's been breaking the balls well this week. Yeah, that's another example. The 9 threat in the lower left. It was kissed. Now this is the part of the break format that will bother Shane from time to time. Obviously I know him quite well. Kiss off the 3. Almost helped the 9. But this is also the part, and I tell him often, I said, Shane, you cannot control this. And he knows that, obviously. But he is so used to breaking better than anybody else in the world back in his era with the 10 ball and obviously the 1 on the spot, that it's a big adjustment for him. You know, he doesn't like this break format because his advantage is the square hit head on. But he does everything he can, and he still does quite well at it. Interesting push out. Jesus doesn't like it, but he knows that it's a big old risk giving it back. I'm trying to figure out where you would go here. Maybe side rail to side rail, maybe behind the 8 and just send it up to the left side past the side pocket. I think that's okay, actually. Just playing the 3 past the left side, maybe even up to the middle diamond on the left long rail, and using the 8. Actually surprised Jesus didn't look at that. Maybe he did. Yeah, this is a pretty reasonable play here. Didn't get there, though. And that was probably the problem. I think you had to catch the 3 a bit thinner, which risked leaving it in front of the side. thin. You want to overcut it just a tick. And he needs a little help here. That'll work. Yeah, notice he hit that to the top side of the pocket, right? And elite players are always playing to a percentage of the pocket, especially on a shot like that. Better to overcut than undercut because the ball's always going to turn over just a bit. So these guys are typically playing to a certain portion of the pocket. They naturally do it. It's not like they're really thinking about it. They've done it so many times. It's extremely natural for them. Look at the numbers. They're always interesting to me. I told my partner before we came on air, I said every time I would probably bet the dog just because of the numbers. SVB favored 70-30 and trailing 1-0. I can promise you Shane doesn't feel that he's favored by 70% in a match with anybody. Jesus' speed 2-0, and that percentage just went up 10%. Here is the play. So he caught it a little heavy, but he wasn't in a great position there. If you catch it thin, you could be in big trouble. Maybe side rail to side rail was the play there, and just really try to get up behind the 8. I don't know. It was a tricky spot. FSR to Shane's left. What a couple of years he had. He's the one that really figured out the break shot, and that's how he got a head start against a lot of the guys. They tried to emulate it. Well, they obviously figured it out, but he had probably the best 1.75-year run that's been done, to be fair. Gorst is close. Shane Van Boening, obviously, with his titles, are unmatched in my opinion, but wants to make improvements here. A little thinner on the 1. He's way outside the edge of the box. Oh, he's gone much thinner, but this time too thin. Fortunately for him, he's got the 6 down. It's going to be another rollout. Yeah, automatically I just look down here to the lower right corner. You just got to be careful with SVB, right? Is there a two-way bank? Can you bank it down to the right like you're trying to make it, and maybe use the 2 as backdoor cover? I would like to try to tie something up at the same time if I could, or at least do something with another ball. Maybe even just roll the 7 down here to the center diamond if you could. I don't like leaving him just down here in the lower right. Maybe over to the left a bit more. Yeah, this is better. But he didn't keep him on the rail, so I don't know how much better. Can he edge the right side of the 1 and come towards the 3 and 9? It's kind of gambling. Shane actually practices this bank quite a bit when he's in one-pocket tournaments. Did he get there? I believe he did. Don't know that he was thinking about the 8 there. I think he was all old Yeller. Little grin from Atencio. Don't mind the 2-rail kick out of the lower right. Just catch the top side of the 1. You can get way up table. A lot of good things can happen. Oftentimes you can make the 1. It's a 1-pocket shot that a lot of us shoot. We do not have a shot clock here. This kick 2 rails out of the lower right corner is a shot that you would love to have 1 practice swing at, 1 mulligan, because then you can absolutely judge how the first and second rail are going to play, and the next time I guarantee you're going to hit it great. I teach that shot quite a lot all over the country. He's using the jump cue. I don't know if he's going to make or if he's just trying to knock it out 2 rails, keep distance. Yeah, that's what he tried to do, just get it up and out. Great effort. Cleared the 8 without any problems. Cue ball was way up there. Probably going to the lower right corner here with the 2. Yeah, sweat the cue ball here. My goodness. He was over a foot off the felt. This is not easy. You got to stay still in the body and the back arm. Nice and loose. Really good strike. You can tell right away the way it sounded. Look at that spring right there. Talked about it since day 1. This table playing hot, or these tables playing hot, due to the location. I think the pros would rather have it play like this because you can do more with the cue ball than when it's all slippery. But from day 1, really, it's not acted like new cloth. It's bit, it's taken, and it's run away. The spring didn't really help him, though, did it? Because he'd like to have had an angle to where he could get more mid-table on the 5. So now he has to deal with trying to come above the 7, maybe from the low end of the 5. I don't mind him drawing back, though. See how he feels. Yeah, just going to stay on the low end. Ooh, a little hesitation there. I don't see him do that very often. It looked like he was going to pull the trigger and then balked. Clean. Never fazed, Shane. Never fazed by what his opponent's going to do or what his opponent is doing. Always worried about what he can control. I don't think worried is the right term. Goes at the bank here, I can't fault him. But typically when he practices that bank, he likes to stun the cue ball. maybe a little less comfortable floating it with a high ball. Jesus Atencio, if you follow him on his socials, I don't think anybody can double jump as good as he can. Oh, watch the 9. It's tied up with a little golden apple. 2 apiece. The flick off the bottom of the 9 straight down the pipe. It's one way to do it. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I also want to recommend that you do have a mute button or the volume. Don't hesitate to use it. I completely understand. Atencio's struggling early with this break shot. Kind of all over the place. The first one, the one missed the side by a foot high. The last two, pretty much in the same spot. So he went from real thick hits to a couple of very thin hits. Excuse me, one real thick hit, a couple of very thin hits. I believe he's going at the 8 here. Now you cannot ask for anything more. He's got 2 options here. He can go with a soft kill, which is tough to judge because this table likes to grab with any type of inside. Or you can just come out past the spot towards the left side of the table, kind of towards that 3rd diamond below the side. Such a disciplined player, Shane. You can tell he's real serious about this match as well. A little thick, and this ball's been holding up. And it held up. 4.5-inch pockets, blue label, 9-foot diamond table, Simona's cloth aramith balls. Day 1, that one is in the drink. Today, not so much. We've been seeing these balls hang. The deeper shelves, that's why we love the diamond table. And I was just touching on it. These elite players know to catch that ball a tick thicker because it's always going to have some type of bite to it, some type of turnover. We like to call it a skid, but there's going to be friction. So playing it to the top edge of that corner pocket is always best. We call it the pro side. This is tricky, real tricky. Want to draw straight out. He did not mean to catch that point. It was close because the 2 was kind of lying inside the corner there. I actually think he can cut the 3 a little bit and go forward right behind the 6. The table plays hot enough to where the 3 is going to come off pretty sharp. This is the simple play, just shaving it. I really think you can go forward here. Maybe not. It's close. Could tuck down below the 5. I believe. Excuse me, the 4. Play the 3 off the right side of the 6. Played into the rail first, maybe 2 rails below the 4. The 3 will probably end up behind the 5 and 9, to be fair. I think that's okay, that play. He's going to play the simple. And you can't fault him, right? You know you're going to get back to the table unless Shane decides to fram and fluke one in. It looks like there's space between the 6 and the rail. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of room, right? What he's looking to see is if it's makeable. Is he looking to see if it's makeable with a low ball or if he just goes forward? I think he's got to go forward to allow it to lengthen just a bit. But if he's got the space to where he's putting his finger, then it's definitely makeable. Just don't want to crush this. If you mishit it at all, you want the pocket to accept it. Looks like he's going to catch it thin to me. The way he was acting, he's going to catch it right where he wants. Yeah, thin. It just kind of always looked that way to me. Obviously, I'm not at the table. Just surprised. I'm actually surprised at the speed at which he hit it as well. I did not think he would hit it hard enough to get the 3 back up table. Figured if he did hit it like this, he'd just hit it about there, that speed. Yeah, nice aggressive swing there. Coming all the way down. You want to flirt with going into the 9 here, off the 5. Does he think he can miss it? Or is he just going to draw off of it? No problem. Pace has picked up a little bit. I like that with a rhythm player. Typically, my thought process anyway, when I was in my prime, is you start out, you do not try to force yourself into that pace. You actually stay conscious of taking your time and just allowing that rhythm to happen. So the minute you start to force a quick pace, we just saw it with Arseny Sevestianov last round. It won't work out. Do us a favor, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Thank you very much. It's Friday. The weekend is here for most of us. And we really appreciate everybody tuning in. Been the best breaker of the 2 so far. And that's going to continue. Awkward on the 2. Does cut to the side. It's thin. Bending that cue ball 3 rails to the top side of the 9. It was thin. I feel like that's where you want to hit it, to the top side. You definitely don't want a rub point going in. So far, it's everything we expected it to be, in my opinion. Can he beat the side pocket here? If not, I would consider crossing the 2, kind of like below the 8, maybe using the 4, one rail down. Just an option. Here's another look. Boy, I'll tell you what. Felt like he hit it pretty good. The side pockets on a 4-inch diamond are brutal. Most would pass that up. Yeah, he tried to force something that was never really there, it looks like, right? Caught it thin because he knew he couldn't catch it thick due to the point. We've all done that a time or two. Forcing something that's never really there. Pretty fortunate to miss the 2 in the side and have it land the way it did. Another rotation up table, and it's probably curtains for Captain America in game number 6. Hey, flirting with the 8. Interesting. If you could go back to his earlier matches today, or this week, Shane's, completely different strokes, right? Now I'm just going to say what it is. If he's playing a player he knows he's going to defeat, it's really kind of like practice time for Shane. His swing is much quicker. He uses a lot more power, and he does that to gain feel. Now, he has the ability to experiment while he's playing those type of players. He knows when it's time to buckle down. But the swing really slows down when he's serious. Obviously, when he needs the power, he's going to gain it. But if you couldn't see the body and just the swing, his last match compared to this one looked like completely different players as far as the speed of the cue. Game number 6. Gonna go to the man. In my opinion, the best American player to ever live. I don't really think that's debatable anymore. Another look at the 2. Catches the point and leaves Atencio pretty awkward. Pretty nice to see a crowd. St. Augustine, Florida. It's a beautiful area. Florida has become a massive hub for professional pool, amateur pool. I think the States is where it's at. America is where it's at. I have been all over the world. I'm grateful for it. I'll tell you, I think it's coming to America. Needs to make a change here. Yeah, and that's not the change. It is just not the change. What about moving the cue ball an inch or two? He's put it in the same place over and over and over. That's 3 overs, by the way. Will be a rollout. Quickly identifies where he wants to be. Feel like kind of left a duck safe here, but Shane knows better. I don't know if that was a mishit or by design, but coming into the back of the 4 heavy like that was dangerous. Felt like he could go in the drink very easily. But the speed at which he hit it and where the 1 finished tells me it had to have been by design, but boy, it looks like it could scratch off that ball. I guess not. The pink must have been off the rail enough. SVB going to the air. Probably got about a 20% chance of making this. Maybe a little less. Good effort. We talk about it all the time with the jump cue. Oftentimes, or more often than not, they're going to miss it thin, and that's because the backhand can't stay straight up and down. It's very hard. Backhand wants to come out an inch. And if it does, the front of the cue is going to swipe at the ball. I felt like he was quick there. And when I say quick, I'm just talking about getting down on the ball and making his decision as to where the cue ball was going. And he knows at his level he cannot miss those balls. They're not frozen, the 8 and 1. Looks like the 8 might go a hair low. He's acting like they're very close. I think you have to catch the underside of the 1, or just below the center of it to throw the 8 upwards. They're still close enough together, I think you can throw the 8 up. We'll see. Yeah. Catching the top side's going to turn it down just a tick. Wondering if the jump kick was better there, where you can get more of the 1. Fortunate there, double kiss the 8 in. My producer's probably going to kill me here. If you guys get a chance, we're working really hard. Go to YouTube and like our page. Subscribe. It's free. The Boom and Freezer Show. Coming out with episode number 1 with a very special guest next Monday. 15 episodes this season. We've got a great title sponsor this year. The Boom and Freezer Show on YouTube. Do me a favor. We need to build our subscribers. We've got over 1 million hits total on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. And I really would appreciate it. I got to track this equipment all over the country, all over the world. Bobby Hilton is relentless. So is SVB, 43 years young, and continues to play at an amazing level. will he ever get the chance to get that 6th title in Atlantic City, the U.S. Open? Something caught his attention. He made sure whoever it was knew it. Game number 7 goes to Captain America. 2 years ago, SVB, Federgorst in the finals. So difficult to make the finals. But let's not forget, 2 years ago, right before the U.S. Open, Federgorst and Shane Van Boening played a race to 120 at Rail Yard Billiards in Louisville, Kentucky. And a lot of us said, if they can get some rest in day 1 or 2, not have any strenuous matches, maybe a later round, that there was a good chance both of those guys would go deep and one would win it. As luck would have it, both made the finals. I gotta be honest, I was pulling for my man, and I think most of us were. Federgorst winning it couldn't have a better second place champion, or a second favorite, I guess I should say. Well, is the 9 on here? 2 to the side, natural to the 9. I believe it is. Might just have to play the 2. It all depends on how he feels about it. But I think the 9 looks real sweet here to the lower left. Double bubble, double trouble. SVB 2 in a row, 2 for the dough. Leading 5 games to 3. The crowd likes it. I don't feel like that was his best break shot by any means. There is a little luck in pool. The 1 ball missed in the upper left corner by Atencio might end up really hurting him. He has not moved the cue ball, so he is hard-headed. And I totally get it. Well, he's made the 2 in the lower right, but even at that, I don't feel like it's still a real good hit. Trying to bury the 1. 7 track 3 rails into the left side as well. You cannot chip the right side of the 1 here. Now, a lot of guys, I'll just talk about the guy to the left of SVB. FSR, one of the best in the world, at 2-rail kick behind this ball, heavy, playing it towards the left side, and if he doesn't make it, he's sticking the cue ball, and that 1 ball will end up down here below the 1, so, below the 9 somewhere. Don't have to hit this real hard. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, we know he's got to jump this. Not been great with the jump cue this event. I put him at just a slight dog to bury this. Overcut again. Tells us that the back arm is definitely going out just a touch. Can't notice it with the naked eye. Oh, you can actually. I could see the hand going out just a touch. If you're not conscious of that backhand, You'd be surprised how often it happens. It's just where the arm wants to go. It's not comfortable being straight up and down. Player representative of my friend's business, Dave Bartosiak and Leah Bartosiak, Classic Billiards. Great people doing a ton of big things for the sport. I mean a ton of big things for the sport. Most of you are probably all aware of who they are now. And if you're in the area, Fort Lauderdale, you have to check out his room. He just expanded. And it's pretty awesome. Just like Jesus Atencio's stroke. I love his stroke. I love his game. They've got him at 12% to win this match. Where is the window? Let me give you some money. If I did bet on him, I'd have to run over there and tell him to move the cue ball on the break shot just a tick. There is the winning shot. A couple of big scratches from Shane. He's missed one ball. I believe it was the 2 ball in the lower right corner. Yeah, how do you like this? He's going to be tough to beat, something I talk about. For many, many years, Shane and I discussed this, but whenever he played a big money match, he would be behind the format, and this table is exactly the specs that he wanted. For many reasons, but really just the pocket size, because he was the one in control with the break shot. Therefore, he's going to get more looks. He did come up pretty shallow here. He's got some traffic to get through now, because I don't believe you can check it across inside the 7. Maybe above it and take the thin on the 6. Can he get inside the 7 here? I don't believe so. Yeah, I think he's going into the 8 if he decides to come through rails. Maybe not every ball in the way, even the 7 if you decide to come around the 8. Yeah, I don't mind coming up table here, just checking it above the 7 one rail. Pretty mature play right here. A lot of guys would want to use that natural English for the low outside. Shane aware. Too much work to be done that way. Just got to take his medicine. Sliver this in. Got to avoid the lower right. I don't know that he wants to run in the 7. We'll find out. Oh, I thought he'd come to the inside of the 7 there. A little tougher to make the ball, in my opinion, with the outside and that speed. Caught it heavy. We got action. Oftentimes, it's not noticed, but really right where the 7 is not the worst place to be. Now, if he's got an angle to get there, obviously that's what he'll do. I feel like that was a little chancy. Anywhere on the left side of the table, he was safe. There he could easily overrun it. Made it happen. 3 rails around now. This is his style. He's a loose player, likes to let the cue ball run. Fun player to watch. Game number 10 goes to Atencio. And we are all tied up. The crowd didn't know whether to cry or clap. Some of them clapped. None of them cried. Yeah, and this is the shot, the green 6. I thought he'd just cinch it and maybe just come inside the 7 or even go at the 7. Instead, put just a touch of outside on it to avoid the 8. Caught it heavy. That spin did not get back in time. Not a bad tournament that Jesus just won. 13,000 up top for the River City Open. That was the ranking event in Jacksonville at the new pool room. Beautiful pool room it is, too. Did finish second place this year in the U.S. Open 10 ball. Just feel, I feel like there's a couple of little things maybe he needs to tighten up. But he is still young. And I think we're going to see him at the top of the leaderboard in the next few years, consistently. Does not want to move the cue ball. So obviously he's had success from this position on other tables. Watch out. It's going to stop. Got a ball down in the corner, and it looks like he's going to be fine here. He's getting that kiss on the 4 down here towards the center diamond on the bottom rail. It seems to happen more often than not. Now this is one you're going to have to put some outside on it and allow the swerve to take unless you want to try to turn this with inside. I don't think that's doable. Well done. Very well done. He does have soft hands. Very soft. He can float this in if he'd like. Or go twice above the 8. Not what he wanted. Did he get there? I believe he did. You don't have to elevate here. You can level out, come between the 8 and 9, just take the distance on the green. Am I jumping the gun? I don't think he's snookered here. Boy, it's close. He was addressing the inside of the cue ball there just to get around the 9. So maybe he's worried actually about connecting with the 8. That's why he's going to put the inside on it. Wow. I believe he was partially snookered there. If he misses the ball that bad, I think he was trying to spin around the 9 just a bit. Couple of little positional errors from both guys here. Rack number 11. Yeah, I think he was trying to just turn the 5 in with that inside spin. I think he thought that was thin. I definitely did. So it really all started with the 2 ball for Jesus. He could have just floated it in and held. Well, we've seen it all in this sport, but I just didn't expect that. Still November, but starting to feel a little bit like December. A big gift from Shane Van Boening. And it was the shot prior where Jesus made contact with the 8 that caused him to get straight on the 3. He elevated, got snookered, and there's the miss on the 8, just completely unexpected. Caught the 6 very wide just prior. What a big miss it was there, and Jesus takes his break after the big miss on the 8. A little bit of gamesmanship. We'll be right back. Yeah, while we're on the break. Nobody's pushing me to say this. Just do me a favor. Share my link if you can. If you could go to Facebook, Scott Frost, the Freezer. If you can share the link. We're posting the matches that we'll be covering with the link and the thumbnail. It's on Instagram as well, Scott Frost Official. Then obviously we're Railbirds TV on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. We greatly appreciate everybody's support. Greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all very much. Almost seems like something is bothering Shane on this end, the low end of the table. There's obviously another table behind here. Don't know. Jesus is back. All right, SVB. Need a look here. 2 tracking around. Oh, a couple of juicy rubs there. He can track 2 rails around above the pink and the yellow. Watch the cue ball here. Boom, boom, boom. I like 2 rails around, that way you don't introduce the right side pocket. Notice that cue ball shorten up off the second rail. These rails are tight. They do not play like they're new cloth. It's been like that from day one. I think it's a good thing. Now this is overcut. Wow. Not happy with himself. I know his body language, and I'm not saying just because of that. He wasn't happy with himself prior, obviously. He's such a perfectionist. He really pays attention to where he hits every object ball, and I think it all kind of started with the green 6. He felt like he missed it in the rack prior. It's not the money for Shane. That's what keeps him going. I don't know anybody that wants to win more than him. I really don't. All right, is it the bridge jump shot here? It is the bridge jump shot. Only Jesus can pull this off. I mean, what a stretch. Look at the form. Took the extension off, probably to get a little more air out of the cue ball in such short range. Now this just makes me uncomfortable. I don't know about you. I was waiting for him to make it. Great effort. All right, he has to win this lower right pocket over one time. So just getting the 3 down, I think, will be a feat. Well played, staying off the rail. Can come 2 rails tight again to the 3rd rail. Yeah, on very new cloth, slidey conditions, that shot plays a lot different. The way the table plays now, he actually played to get nice and tight to the 5 versus just area position. Potentially 3 rails here, unless he thinks he can beat the 8. Little heavy. Wanted more out of the cue ball. He'll be okay. Wants to get off this rail. Interesting. Atencio overcut by a country mile. Things just slightly unraveling. Jesus still at 44% to win this match. Just figured I would point that out. And that number could be right. I'm sure it's going to move now. Quite a bit. Yeah, really thin. He got lucky to get behind the 7. Then the bridge jump shot. Overcut here. Everything was good, really. Just caught the 6 heavy to the corner. Left himself a little distance, which caused this here. And notice the cue ball check off with a right spin there. I thought he was just going to cinch it, play the 9 in the lower left. He tried to get closer. Potentially what caused the overcut there by some distance. No change where he's putting a cue ball. I didn't expect anything else. And he has made the 1. With a look on the 3. And this is what happens in professional pool. You get punished, and it's about time. Shane's been the better breaker. But he has not been the better player. He's missed some highly unexpected shots that you just can't miss. Okay, Boeing on him a little bit. You want to catch the bottom half, or the bottom left half of that 9. It's now much thinner on the pink. Can you stay inside just to the right of the 6 here? And that just about held up. The road to get here for Atencio. He got a bye in round number 1. Defeated Oliver Ruger 10-3. Round number 2. John Mora in a close one, 10-8 in round number 3. He's fallen absolutely perfect here. Wow, I thought he overcut it with the body movement as soon as he shot. Atencio going to take game number 13. And a little bit of a surprise with an 8-5 lead. Let's not forget, Shane's had 2 early 9s in this match. Thank you all for tuning in. I am your coverage for this match. I appreciate it very much. SVB's road to get to where he is right now. He got a bye the first round. Defeated Sergio Del Puerto, 10-2. And then Eric Roberts, I covered that match, 10-4. Eric did not perform how I expected him to. SVB breaking from the same position as well. You can see the wear mark on the table. Maybe a bit of frustration unleashed on that hit. Does he have a clean look at yellow? Yeah, the wing ball clean in to the lower right. I'll tell you what, he did really good there. Very hard to get below the 2 the way he did, as hot as these rails are. He made it look easier than it was, I can promise you. Gonna come twice here, just across the top of the 6. Look at it bite. Yeah, good hit there, very clean. Moving along rather quickly, game number 14. I don't expect a miss here. This pocket has been his nemesis, but it isn't this time. SVB. Within 2 of tying it up, 4 of winning. He had success last break. I'd like to repeat. Yeah, he has found the spot. The 3 is a problem. Can he get below it? If he can get to the left long rail, he's okay. At worst, he can lock him up behind the 9. Hard to tell if he's really got any angle here. Could just go forward as well. You've got the 6. Kind of like... Yeah, I don't like coming all the way down if it's that straight, but let's see what he's got in mind. Could just go forward and stay up above the 3, kind of like you're banking it towards the 7, and weld him behind the 6 and 9. Sometimes, when you're an aggressive player, staying aggressive will get the best of you. Taking a chance here. Took a big chance there. Don't know what he's got. Can he bank this to the lower right and follow forward? Yeah, you couldn't get directly under the 3. You see, you had to spin it there. Problem with going forward, maybe he catches a piece of the 9, but I feel like a high right ball, the way the table plays, you can get out towards the center here. Maybe not. The cue ball's just a bit higher than the 3. That kind of changes things. I felt like it was pretty flat. And if you have to power draw through the 9, it makes it much easier to miss the bank. All right, going forward. he never even caught a piece of the 9. Very, very clean. Love to stop right there. Leave the 6 plays in the lower right. If not, there is work left to do. Yeah, maybe it doesn't. Clearly does not. Okay, I think he's coming one rail directly at it, or now acting like the 6 does play. From this angle, typically, if there's some space between those 2 balls, it'll play. The attention he's giving this, though. Oh my goodness gracious. How's the speed? How is the speed? A big-time miscue. Game number 15 on the 5. Wow. Trying to stick the cue ball here. Oh, he's played it thin. Does the 6 go? I just can't tell. What a great hit this was. What a great effort that was. That's all by design. Obviously the 6 goes. Atencio, I think, was just trying to draw down to the 3rd diamond below the side. If he elevates the back of the cue here, he might be going at this. Yeah, just a bit thick. Very difficult play. Is he going to wrap around 2 rails with inside or just come 1? Taking advantage of how the table plays there. Nice hit. Get the feeling this is a long way from over. Overrun that by some distance. Now he's got to dig into the cue ball here. Yeah, does he warp it past the right side? Okay, he chose to stay up. Don't blame him. Yeah, what a miscue. At an opportune time, but Shane still had to come with a great kick shot, which he did, forcing distance. SVB within 1. Took a bit of a gamble here, but made a great shot on the 3. Just did not expect the miscue here. You've got to assume that's what he was playing. Would love a look to tie this up. He's going to get that look. 3 plays in either corner down low. Can he avoid the 8 wrapping around? If not, he might have to check this twice. Out of the top right. No problem. Might have played it to the high side or our low side of the side pocket to create that bigger angle. I don't think he could have checked it twice out of the top right. It was thinner than I expected. Coming 2 rails out above the 7. Speed looks pretty darn good. Yeah, is the 8 just slightly in the way of the punch where you come down to the right side of the table. So now maybe short side down to the left side of the table. And what a great cue ball that was. Try stopping the cue on impact every shot like this guy does. It won't be good for you. I can promise. But it's good for him. How about a race to 2? Game number 16. Going to the man. Yeah, notice he played that thin to our low side of the side pocket. That's how he created a much better line coming into the 3, clearly avoiding the 8. They've got Jesus back down to 37%. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's a race to 2. But I guess if they played 200 of those races to 2, can I just bet this one? Shane paying close attention. Yeah, Jesus, no question, has found the break spot. Needs some help here, and he's received it. 3 leads to the 4, 2 to the 3. 5 is in a good place. It's in his hands. Atencio within 1, and that 37%, well, it practically doubled. And they have swapped places. SVB now at 35% by the numbers. Like, share, and subscribe, Railbirds TV. While you're at it, if you're watching, we work hard. The Boom and Freezer Show. Do me a favor, just go to YouTube and subscribe. I appreciate it. Really do. Working hard for you there to bring you all the latest action. Thank you so much. Need some good look here. I think he's going to have some type of a look, but it's not favorable. He's got the inside of the cue ball. All ball fouls here can really mess with you. Boy, such a tricky position. If that 5 was over about half an inch, I think you can address the cue ball pretty clean with a high inside ball. There's actually a path between the 5 and 7 to just go forward over the left side of the table. Excuse me, it's the 4, I believe. Looking to lay it down on the left long rail. Use the 5, 9, and 7. It's going to work. Pretty clever. Cut him off from the bottom end of the 2. Does he have some type of a gap between the 7 and 9 to get to the long rail? Boy, if he does, that's treacherous, because he could create distance and get the snooker. A lot of balls out there for cover. It looks like he can. Yeah, and that'll work. Just found the gap between the 7 and 9 there. Now what? Gonna use the 4 and the 3. I didn't think he could get to the left side of the 2. That'll work. 2 really nice plays back to back. Is he cutting the 2 towards the 7? Trying to come down between the 3 and 4? Or just banking it down? I was wondering if you could make the 7 trying to bank it down. I felt like he could cut it towards the 7. Then you risk of making the 7 that way as well. I don't know if you can come across the face of the 2 without contact on the 3. Kind kind of like you're banking the 2 up towards the 5. If not, you can use the 3 to hold the 2 and maybe wrap around the lower right, 1, 2, 3 up behind the 9, potentially, or 1, 2 up behind the 9. Yeah, I think he's crossing the face of the 3 here. Send the 2 up table. How about just go at it to the upper right? Swisher's sweet. Does he have a look to the lower left? Can't imagine him playing this ball. If the 3 doesn't play? I mean, there is no way he's playing two-way safe there behind the 6, is he? The 3 has to go. It's like calling the river with Jack 6 offsuit against a pair of jacks. If it doesn't go. It's going to bank it. Take the pot, young man. That'll get you the cheese. Atencio. 4 away from 10-8 victory over SVB. 2 back-to-back banks. This is a true double elimination as well. Really taking his time here. Gathering himself, I don't blame him. He's really just getting good on the 5. The 6 plays on the side if necessary. Should be completely home free here. 1 rail up. If he wants to come to, he can. Is this weak? This is weak. Once he was down on the ball, he really just one-stroked it. Is there more left in this match? Three big banks in this rack, and that's going to get it done. Jesus Atencio. Going to move on into round number 5 with a big win over Shane Van Boening. Shane, always a class act. And here is the carom into the 7, not by design, that's for certain. Been a great match. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. We really, really do. We'll keep you posted on the next round. Have a good evening.